Good evening, colleagues. Good evening, colleagues. Welcome to the meeting of the Executive Cabinet Member Regeneration, Tuesday, 9th of April, 2024. So first item on the agenda is monitoring of Exec Cabinet Member decisions. Any questions, queries? David?
Yeah, it might be a bit predictable this, but can I ask about West Alton Town Hall? Have we fixed the hole in the roof and the leak coming in? Because I have to say it's concerning me. I've heard nothing, so I'm assuming someone's been and fixed the hole in the roof or wherever the vast amounts of water were coming in. And where are we with the damage to the council chamber?
Yeah, Paul?
Through you, Chair, I can certainly, because we agreed that it was a property matter, so I don't have an update for you, Chair, but I can certainly, and Councillor Wilkinson, but I can certainly ask Andrew Williamson for an update on the matter.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thanks. Any other questions or queries? Okay, I can't see any hands, so we'll move to the next item on the agenda, which is DLUHC simplification pathfinder pilot and leveling up Fund 3 memorandum of understanding.
And yeah, Peter's going to start off, and then I'll chip in as needed.
Yeah, Peter.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Chair. Say good evening, everybody. Can you hear me all right?
It was just a little bit quiet. Yeah.
I'm on a headset. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Is that
just
right. Okay.
Yeah.
Just yell if I go. I won't intentionally go on mute, but if I do, just yell. Yeah, right. Thanks very much. This is effectively two aspects to this report. One is about a memorandum of both relating to memorandums of understanding. The first one is about DLUHC simplification pathfinder pilot, and the second is about the leveling up round 3 funding, and eventually both of them should come together. So the simplification pathfinder pilot is a way of pulling together the Towns deal, the Future High Street Fund, and the Levelling Up Fund resources that we've been allocated already, and it makes the reporting process to DLUHC much easier, and that we only have to report a red, amber, green twice a year, and then let's say a more detailed report at the half yearly. So the reporting requirements are much more eased. We've already spent most of the money available, so there's not much left to monitor in that regard. But the reporting, but what it does.
Frozen.
Oh. Well, I'll carry on, Chair.
Yeah.
I mean, the key for this report and the memorandum of understanding and the simplification pilot is that we get the more money up front, and it provides us with the ability to control the spend of all of the funds in one go. We don't have to do the reporting on 3 different funds or 4 different funds with 4 different output reports, and assess all of the and monitor all of the individual funds separately, and reporting back at different times. It's one reporting mechanism, which is why they've sort of sought to introduce this. And I think the other benefit is, certainly for some of our projects, is that the time frame for delivery and the time frame for reporting is pushed out to March 26 to be consistent with all of the other funding streams. And one example of that within Bolton is the Moor Lane public realm scheme, and rather than have to complete it by March 24 or March 25, it gives us that added flexibility in terms of delivery to ensure that we can progress all of the funding and all of the delivery. But if there is any hold-ups, then we can. We've got a deadline of the end of March 26, which in terms of the levelling up 3, the Department for Levelling Up and Communities have indicated their intention to combine levelling up 3 within the Pathfinder, which again gives us that flexibility and supports the ability to move money around and in order to ensure delivery across a range of funding streams, not just one. I think we've previously mentioned, Chair, that the Farnworth project and the Farnworth funding stream for the next 10 years won't be part of the simplification pilot, and that gives the reassurance that is totally separate, and the funding will be focused on that. But I think the recommendations are that we get authority to enter into the memorandum of understanding. It gives us that flexibility. In terms of the levelling up 3, we've sought authority to, if there is, once we combine levelling up 3 with the Pathfinder, then we can use the flexibility that's provided by the government to adjust any projects to ensure that those projects are deliverable and viable. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. David, did you have a question?
Me? Yeah, I did. Well, it's more of a comment, to be honest. I mean, to be fair, I'm glad we've got this simplification because, you know, it's typical government over the years. They love inventing things and they realise, well, that doesn't exactly work, you know. So let's make it simple so it can work. So hopefully it will make things a little bit easier and we can plough through things. As far as the 2 areas which are, you know, earmark the money, I wish them all the best in the world. Even from West Bolton, we don't wish you any harm. You know, Bolton most certainly does need as much love and care and approach that it needs because, well, I think we all know the problems of Bolton Town Centre. And Farnworth, I wish it well because it's had a rough ride over the years, to be quite honest. And if it does pick up and it does improve, good. It helps the town and the people of Farnworth. However, there's always an however in these things, isn't there? And my however is for the other parts of the borough. I know we've had some money, and I'm now probably going to do my Oliver routine here. Please, sir, can we have some more? Because the money we did have, obviously, I think we've been using it reasonably well. We are going to refurbish the town hall. Maybe not everything I wanted in there, but the building is staying. However, some of the things which have been successful in West Bolton, we've had a lot of good, determined entrepreneurs across all range of sectors, from hospitality, etc., who have filled virtually every space in West Bolton. You know, if a vacancy appears in a building, wow, somebody's in it 2 minutes later. The old Lloyd's Bank being gutted and subdivided. However, all of this good stuff brings us some slight problems. And that's why I'm asking whether we could look at additional funding for some areas which are doing, in a sense, well, but doing well brings us, capacity issues. You know, case in West Orton, it is car parking. And we desperately need to look at that because the town hall refurbishment, as it's planned to go ahead, is office space. That will bring more people in. And I know we've talked about it. It was mentioned at the briefing, which was held in the Carnegie Hall a few weeks ago. And it was an issue which members of traders, business people, etc., did raise. We do have a car park which is sat there doing nothing. I was very disappointed when people a few months ago, maybe about 12 months or so back, wanted to push the idea of building even more property on there. We need car parking space in West Orton. We really do. So I'm hoping that along the line, officers will look at that really serious issue, because if we don't get a bit more space for parking, we could actually threaten some of the issues people are trying to do commercially. They're putting their hand in their own pocket. No government funding as such, no 20 million here or 20 million there. And obviously the implications for the refurbishment of the town hall. If people can't find somewhere to go while they're in that building, it will have a knock-on effect. There are other issues. Moving slightly on, and I'm sorry, and thank you for letting me have the time, is how we take things forward. And I know we had the steering group, and that one crashed into the railway buffers big style about a year or so back. These things move on though. How other areas are going to able to engage or work together within the various communities, whether it's Orwich or West Orton or Little Lever, because there are always continuing things arising from these development and town centre strategies. There is this board now for other parts of, for Bolton and Farnworth, but locally we have issues, and it's a case of, ward members will talk about them, town council will talk about them, both in West Orton, Orwich and Blackrod, but how do we get to ensure our feedback is going into the system? Because at the moment there is nothing. So thanks very much, Actor, for letting me have that. But a few things, but they are live issues in West Orton, and I've no doubt Orwich has a few as well.
Thank you. Thanks, David. Paul, do you want to come in first? And then
I think we did when we briefed the ward members from West Orton before the public consultation meeting, then we did commit to start reviewing car parking and engage with the highways team as well, to see what we can do, and I suppose linked to the second point of how can we take forward more and regular engagement and working together, and councillors, man, you know this, is that we'll be bringing forward a report to your next ECM on the 26th of April, looking to recruit and build a bigger team to ensure that we can continue to work on both district centres as well as the Bolton town centre, and we'll be recruiting to that team throughout May, June, July, and that will start to bring with it some additional capacity to ensure that we can resource that ongoing, and we know that we need to do it. We just need to be able to resource that ongoing engagement piece.
And in addition to what Paul has just said, David, I can say that in relation to the steering group, we felt a few months ago that steering groups had done their job at that point, and because of the capacity issues within the team, it was better for us to take a different approach of briefing elected members from West Orton, Little Lever, and other townships for in the meantime. And then once we are at full capacity, or when we've got a bit of a capacity within the team, we can then start looking at other ways of working with elected members from our district centres to see what can be done. So absolutely, it is one of our key priorities going forward. Yeah.
Good. Thank you very much, Hector.
Adele?
Thanks, Chair. It was just about staffing resources actually, because it was taking a huge amount of staffing resource to do all of the monitoring reports that were expected. And obviously, if you were a town that only had one award, it's not a problem, is it? And I think it's testament to council officers that we've had so many awards as well, and so many funds, and that we've had the backing of government so much, because we've had so many that have been dropping in. So it does make complete sense, but it is about staffing resource, and if that can then be allocated, because I know the team is lower than what it was when the steering groups were ongoing and everything like that. So it's just about how that is going to be managed moving forward as well. Yeah,
absolutely.
And we'll be able to present the report in the next week or so, and discuss it at the meeting on the 26th of April, to talk you through what the new structure is going to look like, and how that will help us actually then start to progress and be ready for having a pipeline of work into the future. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Okay, I cannot see any other hands, so we will move on to item 3. Do you need to stop recording, Vicky?
Yes, I do. Yeah, just bear with me.